Good evening. I call the Planning Commission meeting of December 14th, 2020 to order. Roll call. I am here. Mr. Duncan.
Here.
Mr. Hema. D. Lundell.
Here.
G. Lundell.
Here.
Mr. Christensen.
Here.
Moving on. Approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion's been made.
I'll second.
Either or. A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Approve of the minutes of the November 9th, 2020 meeting. Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, do I hear a motion to accept?
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made, seconded to approve the minutes from the November 9th meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Period for public input. Anyone here for public input? Seeing none, we'll move along to the public hearing. Street vacation and lot split for Robert B. O'Gorman, 915 North 6th Street. The proposed street vacation and lot split will allow 915 North 6th Street additional lot space, create a lot that meets all current code regulations. Anyone here for the public hearing? Hearing none, close the public hearing for Resolution 2020-14. Moving along, discussion items. Number A, resolution to 2020-14, the street vacation for Robert O'Gorman. Discussion.
Pretty straightforward, so.
No discussion, hearing none. Do I hear a motion to accept or deny?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2020-14.
A second to that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Moving along, B, Resolution 2020-15 for administrative subdivision lot split for Roddy Theobar, owner of 401 Middle Street. Currently one parcel. It is being proposed to allow that this parcel be split into two parcels. Each parcel would meet zoning requirements for the city of Cannon Falls. Is that Roddy back there under the mask?
Yes, it does.
Would you have anything to say, Roddy, if you'd like to step forward?
No, it's.
Anyone on the commission has questions for Roddy?
I purchased the property from the Window Safer Trust, and in doing so, I was working with Diana and Dave Rapp to get the property to be two parcels rather than one, but under the guidance of the ordinances of the way it is currently zoned. Is there any questions for me or?
Well, I think I have a question. Well, first off, I see 70 feet. Does it not? Don't we need 80? Is that what we're here for?
60. I was told 60 by 135, but I went 70 just because.
I thought it was 80 by 135. Am I incorrect?
I'm seeing 80 by 135 townhouse. Or
That 80 is for if you're going to do
Corner lot.
more than a single family.
Correct. And at this time, there isn't any plans for that lot. It's just that I'm actually selling the house to my sister, but that lot may be adjoined with all the rest of that slab on grade is what it's presented right now for the rest of that trust. And there's some interest in that, but at this point, there's nothing that is documented. But at this point, we'd like to, like I said, make the house itself. That lot is much larger than required, but the lot in which we are separating, the parcel B, as noted on the survey, would be retained by me once this would be approved.
What's the reason for the flag just along the backside there? I can see a straight parcel. I don't understand the L.
Well, there's another 3.6 some acreage behind that is still in negotiation, but not a part of this property at this current point. When the property was sold, I purchased it knowing that the rest of that property is available and on the market right now, but that's in negotiation.
Okay, so that's
So it's,
not in your hands at this time.
I cannot speak for comment on that because that's still in that trust.
Any questions by the commission?
Yeah, Rodney, you know, we just all received, you know, something that was printed on an envelope. They made a copy of it.
Certainly.
Is this something you're thinking down the line?
If, depending on how the rest of that property, that 3 point some acreage that's still in that trust is developed, we may follow suit with what they're doing. But at this point, there's nothing in we'd like to go ahead at some point. I could see myself moving back to Cannon Falls. I currently live out in the golf course.
Right.
But the reason I don't have immediate plans is that I don't immediately plan to move there, but I would imagine in the meantime that property behind me will be sold. But I would entertain the idea of either working with them or going along with the same kind of footprint, because I was told initially by the realtor that that's what they're pushing hard for, is slab on grade elderly living, if you will, or condos or whatever you want to call it, much like it's on the west side of this property right now, where I believe Mr. O'Gorman put the condos already.
Right.
That whole area most likely be something similar to that, but what you have on the map there is something that I have just looked into a little bit, but I haven't gone ahead and done anything as far as outside of just brainstorming on the property.
Okay, is this other 3 acres that you're hoping to, is that to the south?
It's all to the south and wraps all the way back to the street that is right next to where Van Gilder's building. I can't think what that street is that comes in right there to Middle Street. That
Right, it's Third. I live right on Third Street,
Okay.
southwest there,
Yep,
right
certainly.
across from that new house that was.
certainly that's
So-
just to the south of where you're at. Then that property comes to right to Third Street and wraps all the way to the backside of this property. It was
Right.
all one at one time until the trust broke it.
Because I just want to make sure that if we approve this lot split, we come later, I know across the street from me, where they've ended clearing the trees,
Certainly.
there is an alley platted there, I believe.
There is on their portion of it, but that's to get into that. It's actually going to be they platted it, I guess, or at least that's the preliminary. But once again, I don't own that property, so everything on ours is all coming back out to Middle Street.
Because as I look at this drawing, if you were to come back and try and do all these on that north-south strip, it would be very difficult to
It
put
would be.
something there.
Correct. And that's why it's very, very preliminary. Everything would have to be approved. What I'm getting approved tonight, or the only thing I'm trying to do right now is set it up for future reference, and which, like I said, we may or may not own more of that property. But once again, would work with the city to try to accomplish the same kind of living quarters. I'm not looking to put multiple single family. I would be more so like what they have done already with the O'Gorman property. And I don't know what that development's called, but if I were to be in that situation, it would be trying to match what they're already doing with the rest of the property, or be a part of that.
Right, because as a planning commission, we're concerned when things aren't in the right dimensions, and then you buy or do this lot split, and then down the road you want to try something else, and I'd hate to have to, or the commission would hate to have to turn you down because it doesn't fit. So I want to make sure that you understand that that's a possibility.
Yeah, I understand that completely. The part that I'm doing right now is protecting basically my sister, who's going to be owning the house.
Right.
So if somebody else were to come in here and build right, because obviously to the other side of her home they're within 5 feet. It's not to code. It is what it is. But I don't want that same thing to happen on the south side of her living residence there, and yet Once again, I'm not
That's-
sure
that's
how that's
that-
going to be developed.
The house she's gonna move in is that brown house,
It is.
correct? Right.
It is Wendell Schaefer's home that used to own all that acreage.
Right, she used to.
Correct.
Yeah,
Been
yeah,
school teacher
no.
forever. Yeah.
Yeah, I walk by there every day in my rounds, so,
And it's just a disaster after the tornado came through with all the trees. It's so sad.
well, yeah, and
But-
I saw the little fence was taken down there
Oh,
and
it's,
stuff, so.
it's,
Okay,
it was
well,
sad.
that was a lot of my concern, is to make sure that you're aware that,
Well, what I'm seeing is we're going to do a split between parcel A and parcel B, correct? Which would be, at this point, I see 60, but we're going to add 10 more that goes to the west there into parcel A from the proposed parcel B to make the 70 feet?
the most current survey that was forwarded to Diane is 70 feet of frontage to Middle Street and then 179.87 feet deep.
Right, I see the deep, but I still don't, unless there's been an addition onto this parcel A. I see a 10-foot there, but it's not illustrated by the black line that goes north and south there.
I'm not sure what you
This
have.
is this the parcel we're looking at right here, correct? This isn't a part of what you're proposing at
It
this
is,
point.
the whole section is what I'm proposing, is everything outside of parcel A. Parcel A was.
Lots
it's
1,
100
2, and 3, correct? Right.
But it's also extends deeper into part of 3, yes, but not the whole thing. It literally is frontage to Middle Street is 133.86, which is larger than the requirement. 60 was what we were told, but is also that 135 deep to meet exactly what it needs. And then the portion thereof is literally outside of that is the rest of that parcel B, which I would retain, like I said.
I think the concern is the survey that you got in your packet, there was another one that was done after that, since, or was going to be coming in, because it's been changed a few times. So the handwritten numbers there, the 70, the 44, and the 135 are real. But Dave Rapp had not, by the time the packets went out, had gotten the last one.
The one that I was given, yes.
Yeah, so that's a latecomer.
Yeah, and that was last Wednesday or Thursday, I believe, that he finished that up.
so what we're seeing, Neil, is that on the south half of the L, it's going to be 44 wide, and then on the north-south version, about 179, and then 70 wide there. Okay.
We changed it, the number one reason why we changed it was to try to meet the requirement of that 60 by 135 that I was told initially when I worked with Diane, and then we looked at it a couple different ways, but the issue we had initially is that these parcels were overlaid as 1, 2, and 3, as you can see on there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really never plotted, that was just overlaid. That was just something that they had going out to the vacated 4th Street. And as you can see, that wasn't even a legal scenario with 1, 2, and 3. It was just something that was laid in there when they laid out the whole property. So when I purchased it, I had to get the area surveyed, and that's when we realized that the lot needed to be the 135 deep. And I didn't stick with what initially was there, because initially what I would have done is just kept an easement and then taken all of the third lot, but you can't do that because it doesn't have frontage, and you run into some other issues with front to back versus side to side, I guess, with your 60 by 135. So that's why all this came to be, with multiple discussions with Diane and Dave to try to make sure that it was going to be a legal lot. But once again, as far as future building, that would still likely be dictated by what additional property, if any, is purchased or not.
That's why you see the 135 on the
Correct.
left-hand side. That's the legal lot depth.
Yep.
So I'm looking at the napkin sketch right now. It shows next to that 135 a driveway and then a proposed 50-foot width of a development and then our 10-foot lot assessment. So this is where you planned on putting an additional home?
It's, like I said, absolutely in the preliminary stage, depending on the developer, whoever might be coming in to do the rest of that project. And there's no guarantee tonight that any of that's happening, but there's talk in it that at that point there may be, they may come in and buy me right out, or I may have an option to buy some of that. Like I said, it's too early to say.
Because judging by what I see here, you're going to have a lot of conditional use requirements with the easement on the west side, the 5-foot variance to the back side of what at this point is parcel A.
Correct, yep.
Any other questions from the commission?
So, just a comment, the sketch that we received today, this morning, I don't think we should view that as valid.
There's nothing that has been, no, that is.
And
we are asking questions, honestly.
okay, and anything that comes forward in the future, we would have to require it to be done according to our code.
Yeah.
Because the sketch, and I know it's just a sketch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of variances. There's a lot of stuff that don't fit.
Yep.
And I don't want to, as staff, I don't want to throw this thing as a recommendation forward. The only thing that we're recommending is that it's a valid size lot for an R3 zone. The sketch came in today that says this is kind of what we're thinking, and after review, none of that stuff fits on this lot. Mm-hmm. And I just want to make sure and that all the planning commission knows that it's just a sketch, and anything that comes in the future needs to fit and be according to our zoning code.
So, Rod, tonight you're not asking for approval. I'm assuming you're just kind of finding out what's going on.
I have 2 legal lots according to your code. I'm asking you to approve it.
Okay.
That's all I'm asking tonight. Because at this point, I was asked to do some slab on grade due to the need in this community. And honestly, I haven't made any sort of commitment. Commitment I've already made is I purchased this lot, and I've worked with Diane to produce 2 legal lots.
Okay.
And that's what I'm asking you to approve.
For me, it's tough to approve because I'm sitting here with a few different sketches, and then on here, things are handwritten in. I
can certainly hand you my
telling me,
if you'd
but
like.
I can't personally approve what I'm looking at.
You have the final?
Yes, I have the final. And it was forwarded to your office. I'm not sure why you don't have it, but it was forwarded last Thursday morning. But either way, I definitely have the final one if you'd like to see it.
But John, all we're looking at doing tonight is just approving one lot into 2. We're not approving any other type of construction.
Correct.
or anything.
You're talking about approving the 70 feet.
70 plus the 44.9 along the backside, correct?
Parcel B, yes.
Plus
There would
the-
be 2 parcels in this. 1 parcel unit right now would be turned into 2, according to the survey drawn by Mr. Rapp.
I would have to admit I'm a little bit confused. We're talking about this lot, and we're talking about taking and splitting off 70 feet of it. Correct? This here. This is what I'm seeing.
This, just as that is exactly.
70 feet, yeah.
No, this is the new one. So we want to go this L-shaped.
Yeah.
That's one parcel.
Okay.
They're just asking us tonight to turn one parcel into two.
Yeah, we shouldn't even be looking at this other.
No, that was a discussion piece
Yeah.
that between
Out of the
Diane
picture.
and somebody other than myself. That's not even mine, but it was a discussion amongst several people.
That would constitute several public hearings and a few variances. Which
Yeah,
we
that's,
can't have
that's the
tonight.
only reason I said what I did, Roddy, that.
And
make
I don't
sure-
have that, honestly, so that's why, to me, it's, all I'm trying to do is, like I said, in reality, what I'm trying to do is get that Lot A legal description so they can close on that home.
Correct. Correct.
I gotcha.
Yeah, the rest we'll worry about later if it ever
Yes.
comes to pass, and like
Okay.
Neil said.
And it
it'll
may
have
end up
to-
turning into a road again, it may end up doing a lot of things depending on what the rest of that development
Okay.
does.
Right.
And that's why, to me, to stand here and tell you what that's gonna happen is still probably something you'll be approving down the road.
Parcel A.
Because
is
there's
what we're-
buildable lots directly to the south of lot
14
3.
of them, I believe,
Yeah.
yeah. The way they're talking, I don't know if that's true or how that works, but like I said, I'm not here on the behalf of them. That's still in the trust
Oh,
and
no, and there
who may be
are
purchasing
potential, a
that.
lot of lots back there.
Certainly, certainly.
Well, I guess I don't have a problem with parcel B as it originated. I don't understand why you're doing that additional because nothing's going to fit there, but
There wasn't a parcel B initially. That was, honestly, when this was first, it was all parcel A.
correct.
And-
I see what we're proposing for the parcel B,
Yeah.
the straight shot.
Certainly. And I don't know where that one came from or who had it or what, but it was, at the end of the day, this is what
You're good with the L shape.
Mr. Rapp had drawn up for us. And honestly, I was trying to get the lot with the home on the smallest piece of property possible, tax reasons, other reasons, but I won't be surprised at all if this parcel ends up being part of the rest of that development or purchased otherwise, but either way, if it never came with the property, I wouldn't have worried about it. But it came with the property, and I'm trying to, like I said,
Yeah.
get this taken care of for that reason.
Like I say, I don't have a problem with the splitting it into two lots. So.
Yeah.
Just the other stuff down the road that we got to be careful of.
Would you like to form that as a motion, Mr. Duncan?
Well, I think we have a
In accordance
resolution
to,
back here.
What was revealed to the city?
I would. Do we still use the same
Excuse me.
resolution? No? Okay, I would make a motion to approve resolution 2020-15.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you for your
Hearing none.
time.
Friday.
That concludes. Any other discussion by the commission? Motion to adjourn?
So move.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?